You could do that.
Hello and welcome to the Bobby Moore stand. My bloody lips are all tangled up. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Chris, Happy New Year. Danny, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year 2026.
Happy New Year, chaps.
So no sooner as 2025 ended that on the stroke of midnight, David Sullivan got the checkbook out and started trying to sign players. Yeah, as if. So there's a couple of incomings and a couple of outgoings, I think, that have been all but confirmed already. We've got Pablo Felipe on his way from Gil Vicente, isn't it? It's the Portuguese
Primeira League, yeah.
Yeah, which is not as good as other Primeira leagues. But he plays for a bad team, and yet he does pretty well in that league. And he's got a lot of. We'll talk about him after. Tony or Teti Castellanos, depending, whether he's in the mafia this week or not. It's Tony or Teti. I think it's Teti is what he's known as. Another striker. Outbound is Luis Guilherme to Sporting, and also Nicholas Fulkrug, thank God, to AC Milan at some point. And also the Buffalo, as I'm going to rename him, Adama Traore, will be joining us at some point. Apparently it's already done according to Whetstone, but other people deny that. I was watching him warming up in front of me the other night, and he's almost as wide as he is tall.
Yeah.
And he's 5'10". Yeah.
He's big lad. Yeah, big lad.
He's a big lad. Yeah, sure. Little calves.
You like looking at their calves, don't you? You always talk about their calves when you look at them on the side.
I look for proportion, right? And he's got enormous thighs and skinny little calves. Don't really work. That
was the oil to arm.
You got to oil him up.
Ratio.
You got to oil him up for maximum effect. I mean, you got to kill the drag, right? You don't want any drag. You got maximum aerodynamic efficiency with that player because you get 3 runs out of him and he's knackered. Anyway, so Chris, how you doing? How you found the new year so far? Full of hope, I expect. I hope.
Yeah, not really, but I'm going to try. Are you talking about West Ham specifically here, or just life in general? Yeah, no. Look, I mean, no, but I'm going to try to be. I'm going to try to be progressively optimistic going into games. It's got to be a better year than it was last year. I hope, but then again, it can definitely get worse, as we all know. So
it can get worse very, very quickly. How about you, Danny? Renewed optimism today after seeing all these amazing signings coming through the door.
Yeah, I think you got to be, ain't you? I don't think you can be anything else.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's a long month, January, isn't it?
It's a very long month. There's a lot of games.
Exactly.
So I think acting early was right. It was the right thing to do. Let's just let these players work out.
With the caveat being, if they're good enough, it's the right thing to do. So whilst I admire the fact that we're getting business done quickly, they just need to be the right players. That's really what it comes down to. Because if they ain't, and we're wasting that money so soon into the window, then we're going to be in stuck. So we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out with these new lads coming in.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
Massively unlike West Ham as well, isn't it? Doing it early. We never seem to do business early.
I know. Yeah, really weird. Yeah, really weird. But
there's clearly a panic going on inside the club because the last time we did good business in January, I don't know whether this is or not yet, was when we signed Bowen and Souček. Well, last time we were almost certainly getting relegated.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if they're half as good as Bowen and Souček have been, particularly Bowen, then it'd be a major win, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Has Danny Dyer got any other daughters?
Yeah.
Right. So look, let's talk briefly because it's long ago now about the Brighton game, which was a nutty affair the other night, wasn't it? I mean, I had to pull out the game. I had to pull out of going at the last minute because my son Ross had his phone nicked and they stole his ID and did a load of fraud shit in his name. So 2 hours before kickoff that was. So very inconvenient indeed. But it's all sorted now, thank God.
Good.
But yeah, so you two went. I watched it on telly for a change. It was freezing cold out anyway. It was a nutty game, wasn't it? I mean, let's talk about that first half to start with.
I mean, how'd you even start? How'd you dissect it? It was you say, it was a mental game. I don't think that we started particularly well. I think for maybe like the first 5, maybe 10 minutes, we weren't really at it, which was worrying a bit because we all knew that it was another must-win game, like they all are at the moment. But then obviously Bowen got that goal, and I think that gave us a bit of hope, a bit of optimism, and I think we stepped our game up a little bit more. And I think, by and large, I think that would it be unfair to say that we edged it? I think we maybe edged it slightly in the first half. That was kind of my opinion. They had chances, but I just kind of felt that maybe we edged it a little bit.
I think their chances were caused by us. That was the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and we had plenty of the game. And I think, you know, from what I was seeing on telly, I think that's about right. You know, I mean, some really annoying parts of that, like Kilman doing a Kilman and giving a penalty away. Paqueta going from 0 to hero, you know, rugby tackle down one end. Thank God for Danny Welbeck. So got the better of him there, didn't it, for a minute?
Honestly, what
a twat.
What a mug. What a mug. I mean, I must admit, I may have, it's not confirmed yet, but I may have shouted out a few expletives to Danny Welbeck, but he probably would have heard. Oh, yeah. I was getting quite angry at this point. And so I think that was down to me that he missed it, actually. I'm gonna claim that one. But yeah, the fact that he tried to do that Panenka and Chip Ariola, I just think, no, come on, man. You only do that if you're like a Paolo Di Canio, you're that type of player. Not Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck shouldn't be trying things like that.
Danny Welbeck ain't got it in his locker, has he? He ain't got it. Danny, if you're watching, which you ain't got it in your locker, son. Don't try it again.
He's talking to me or Welbeck.
You could do it fine, Dan. You'd be fine, mate. You could do no problem at all. You could do a Rabona and chip the goalkeeper, I'm sure.
It was terrible, wasn't it? I mean, it's still rising, that ball. Terrible effort. I mean, that was to really kill the game. At 2-0, I don't think we're coming back, are we?
Yeah, I'd do 2-1. It would have been 2-1 to them at that point, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah,
2-1. Yeah, I think it would, because they were then kind of on the ascendancy. It seems like everything was going against us. But also, I thought the referee was really poor.
Fucking useless.
But why is that, though? Because it always seems that I don't want to feel like, you know, we're playing the victim here, but West Ham, we do seem to get, you know, some real bad reffing this season, haven't we? We really have. Some of the decisions that were going against us. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think both those were penalties. They definitely were penalties, but there was a lot of things that he was calling out that just simply weren't either, I don't know, free kicks or whatever. I just didn't really think he had a good game at all.
Yeah. I'm still not over that decision in Brighton when they got the equaliser and they said that had Ariola not saved the first shot, it would have been disallowed. That was the official decision. I mean, really? I don't know. We've got the best league in the world. We've got the best league in the world and the worst referees, haven't we, Danny?
Yeah. And the thing is, you got to go a little bit further forward than that. It was I think Mavropanos got kicked in the head, didn't he?
Yeah.
If he had gone down there, anyone else would have gone down.
Yeah.
Holding his face.
A free kick, you know? Yeah.
Too honest for his own good. I think a lot of our players are a bit too honest for their own good sometimes, where we could have actually got something out of it, but they stayed on their feet. But the Premier League nowadays, that's what it's kind of about. As much as I hate it, you've got to play that game. You know, if other teams are doing it against us, we've got to be playing that game as well, because we need to get decisions going our way. If it means going down a little bit easier, or, you know, just like you said, that one in particular with Mavropanos, he should have taken that, you know, but
if you're going to do it, make it good. I mean, go to acting lessons like Arsenal. Practice the diving a couple of times a week in the training sessions. Set a bit of time aside at the end of the training sessions and actually practice the swallow dives properly. Make sure you convince him when you do it, because Paqueta, he goes down. I know it ain't a foul. You can see it ain't a foul, right? It's just terrible acting.
It really is.
Do better.
It is. I think that our players need to approach Saka and find out who's coaching him with his acting, because he's probably one of the best at it in terms of going down so easily.
Yeah. I mean, he literally looks like he's been shot by a sniper in the crowd when he goes down, doesn't he?
He does. But Paqueta, he has like a delayed reaction. I think there was one against Brighton when he kind of got nicked slightly, and then it was like, it almost felt like about half an hour later, then he went flying. It was, what's the point of that? And then he's rolling around. It's like, get up, mate, get up. We need you. Do you know what we need? Well, we need him on his flipping feet, not on the floor. But yeah, I don't know, mate. I thought, as I said, going back to the Brighton game, it was a really edgy game, and I felt nervous as hell. Got to tell you, it didn't do me any good. It was actually kind of entertaining in some respects because of that. But let me put into context and let me kind of compare this a little bit, right? So I was just watching the Leeds game against Liverpool. Not all of it. I was just watching the last sort of 10, 15 minutes of it. Now, they're 0-0 against Liverpool up at Anfield. If you're Nuno, you know what's going to happen here. You're going to defend that point, right? Defend that point. Yeah. Leeds, on the other hand, they are going for it. They scored a goal. Calvert-Lewin scored a goal, got disallowed. He was offside, right? He was offside, but not by much. He was offside. But the point being is that these teams around us, they are not afraid to give it a good go. Whereas we, on the other hand, it's almost like, oh, hold up, we got a point. Let's drop back. Let's defend deep and make sure that we, keep that point. That's not going to be good enough to keep us in the Premier League. And for me, I'm seeing other teams around that are going out there and attacking teams. I just think we've got it fundamentally wrong. And I'm hoping with these new strikers or these new signings that we can go on the attack a little bit more, because we just don't attack enough. We don't. Not enough to stay in this league. No.
I think the worst thing that we do is we get pinned back in our own half and there's literally no outlet up the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we haven't got like a Wilson or a striker on the pitch, a recognised striker. They all retreat, don't they?
They do, yeah, they do. And I thought Wilson did well. I thought he did well enough. He had a decent game. I wouldn't say an amazing game, but he had a decent game. It does show to you what a difference it makes when you do have a striker playing up front. It makes a huge difference. I was speaking to a friend of mine earlier today, and he said to me, it's a funny one with Paqueta. I know he weren't necessarily playing up front, although he did 4 periods of that game. He played as a false 9 at certain stages. But it's a bit like when you're at school, and this is what he said to me, it's a bit like when you're at school and you've got like the best player in the team, who might be, I don't know, fullback or centre half. So, let's just stick him up front because he's our best player. It's a little bit like that sometimes with Paqueta. You just, you can stick him up front, he'll score a few. Well, he won't, will he? He won't do that. We just don't have the potency, mate. That's what it all comes down to.
No, that's right. That's right. And we cannot hold on to a lead for love nor money. It was beautiful to see Paqueta get that penalty, wasn't it? Because you knew it was only going in one place. Back of the net.
But it's nerve-wracking, though, isn't it? Watching him take those penalties. Like, he always, I think, there's only one penalty I think he scored for West Ham where he's played it into the keeper's bottom right, so his bottom left. He usually always plays it into the right-hand side of the goal, and he did it again. So I think by law of averages, if you're a goalkeeper, you're thinking, well, I'd probably dive that way. I was thinking to myself, please don't go to the keeper's bottom right. Thankfully, he didn't, because otherwise the keeper would have saved it. But it always makes me nervous with that little run-up that he does. I'm just like, oh, man, just get your foot through it. And I don't fancy bollocks.
Stop-start, isn't it? It's the
stop-start
run-up. And you think, mate, just run up and put your foot through it.
Yeah, exactly. But it works, because he ain't missed a penalty for West Ham, has he, Paqueta?
No, I've never seen him miss one. I feel really confident when he comes up and does it, because I don't know quite how he has the nerves to do it, but he waits for the keeper to fall over and then just passes it in the other corner. I mean, it's a brilliant technique. You literally cannot miss if you've got the nerve to do it. I don't know how you stop that as a keeper, because you've got to choose a way, one way or the other, haven't you? Otherwise, you've got no chance of actually getting there, even if you choose right.
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, the worst thing about that game was we gave away the lead again, and got deeper and deeper as the game went on, and they got on top massively, didn't they, towards the end? Yeah. Lucky to get away with it in the end, I think.
I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. I honestly thought it was going to be one of those days for us again where, obviously we've taken the lead, and I honestly thought Brighton were going to come away for 3-2. In fact, you called 3-2, didn't you, Danny, at half time? I'm sure you did. You said Brighton 2-1 up, and you were still going for 3-2 to Brighton. But you weren't far off, because it could have very nearly been 3-2 to them. It could have been. Yeah. And maybe. Yeah, and maybe you could argue, you could say it should have been in a way, because they did have some very good chances. I know we did have some good chances as well. I think Bowen had a header that was a little bit too central to the keeper for my liking. I think Somerville as well frustrates the hell out of me. Like, I always feel like he just doesn't have that end product. He just doesn't have it. I was saying to you, Danny, didn't I? I think you were in the toilet when this one happened. But I know there's one where Somerville cut in and he could have crossed it to the far stick, or crossed it to Bowen, I think it was. Yes. Or maybe even Paqueta takes a shot. And it's an awful shot, and the keeper just literally grabs it. It's almost like a cross. And it's things like that where you think, well, and I said to you the other day, Gal, people compare Somerville with Benrahma. And there's part of me that feels that Benrahma is the better option. It was better than Somerville because he's got more of an end product, which is saying something.
And he had hardly any end product, right? So, but it definitely was superior to what he's got. I mean, he literally chokes. I don't know why. I mean, he's got all that pace. He can get free of a defender. He can have all the time in the world, but it's that time that kills him, isn't it? He's got time to think.
Yeah, do you know what? I think it's purely down to confidence. Like I was there for that one actually, Chris. But it was as he went through and he was looking, and he didn't want to run towards the goal and try and get a direct in and then get your shot at goal. And he sort of checked and stopped, and he was looking for someone else to pass to. But I mean, if he gets a goal, I think that confidence will just come naturally again. But I think his confidence is really low. And probably half of the team, in fact, most of the team, their confidence is probably
I think so, yeah. One thing I did like was when Welbeck took the piss, a few of the players got involved in I mean, Fernandez was the one that kicked it all off, but also as the ball was going down the other end for the next phase of play, you saw Todibo go over and have a word with him as well, which I really liked. I like that.
Yeah, showed a bit of
then
fire,
he went
I
off
think.
Injured.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I love that. Initially, when that happened, when Welbeck missed the penalty, I thought the referee pointed back to the spot again, and I thought it was a penalty again. I was like, they're going to get him to retake it, and like all the fans were up in arms in a Bobby Moore lower, because I think predominantly most of us thought he gave a penalty again, and I didn't quite understand it, and I thought that was the reason why Fernandez and a few of the other players were kicking off, but it was basically they were kicking off to Welbeck for saying, "What are you trying to do? Trying to mug us off like that?" I think that's what it was, and getting in his face just to kind of rub it in a bit. But it was nice to see regardless, because I think that kind of gave West Ham a bit of fire. And a bit of fire, I think, after that. So if they say, you can't be turning up at our gaff and doing something like that. That's not on. Do you know what I mean? That's not on. And I think there was a bit more fight after that. But yeah, look, I mean, I don't know. That game's done now. It was another must-win game. And
right. Let's talk about Wolves. Let's move on to happier stuff, right? Because we don't know how good these players are yet. But I'll tell you what, it's better to have these players than to have no bloody options at all. So let's see how they work out. But it looks like things are moving very, very quickly. As Mandy G says here, West Ham, this is from Romano, who does get it wrong lately, actually. So I'll take him with a pinch of salt at the moment. But Valentin Tati Castellanos, we've agreed a deal. Now, let's talk about him to start with, because that's the one that nobody's really covered so far, right? And he's a bit of a wild card. We were linked with him over the summer transfer window, if you remember. He played a fair bit of his time in the MLS. Did well, won the MLS Golden Boot one season with New York City Football Club. 19 goals and 8 assists. As we know, though, that's the Sunday League equivalent. He then moved on to play in Spain, and he played in La Liga, and now he's playing Serie A at the moment for Lazio. Now, he's not been as effective. You wouldn't expect him to be, really, would you? As he was in the MLS, because he's playing in proper grown-up leagues now. And they are very, very demanding leagues, both of those, from a defensive point of view, aren't they? They're also a lot slower. Now, pace-wise, he's kind of good over short distances. He's good off the shoulder of a defender. He's a versatile player. He's quite consistent at his levels, but he's not what you'd call a physical beast. He's 5'10", not the most imposing centre forward, but presses. He's one of his real big attributes is his pressing ability and his work ethic. He works very, very hard off the ball, and I think you're going to see this as a kind of common theme with all of these players.
What's the fee for him, Gal? What's the fee they're speculating?
I don't know, but Lazio are apparently desperate for money. So, again, I should have had a thing ready at the moment, which had all the bloody information on him. But, as you know, just before the show, we had to go ahead. Otherwise, it was delay the show for an hour. That weren't bloody happening, was it? So, hang on a minute.
We're usually quite good at delaying shows, to be fair.
I've seen 29 million euros.
29 million euros. I don't buy that if they're in money trouble, but then again, we're in money trouble as well, right?
Yeah.
But apparently he missed 10 games last year, by all accounts.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll fit right into our side. He'll fit right into our team, won't he? I mean, I'm looking at his stats here. He looks pretty good. I mean, it's funny because I'll be honest, I don't know a great deal about him. I think I packed him on FIFA once, actually. So my knowledge is slightly, a bit shady. But if I'm looking at his stats at the moment, so he scored 2 in 11 this season so far, and he scored 10 in 29 last season for Lazio.
Yeah.
Season before that, I think he scored 4 in 35. Then prior to that, he was playing for Girona in La Liga, and he scored 13 in 35. Now, I've got a feeling, I don't know, it doesn't actually say here, so he's a forward, right? But that said, I also think that he is, and I might be wrong here, but I thought that he comes in off the right. So unless I'm thinking about a different player here, which could put into context the reason why maybe his goal ratio isn't as high as maybe you'd expect it to be for a striker at certain stages of his career. Maybe he's been playing more on the right as opposed to a centre forward. But being 27 years of age, it's a good age. He's only been in the Argentina squad since 2024, so just over a year ago. So, I think you're talking about someone there that's realistically going to be probably hitting the peak of his career. You'd think, wouldn't you? 27 upwards, probably you think he'd be hitting his peak. So, 49 goals in 101 games for New York City. I know you said they're a bit second-rate league, but still pretty good. Still goals, mate. Yeah,
exactly what's in front of you, can't you?
Oh, exactly.
Weren't much in front of him. Let me tell you.
Yeah, no one.
The only thing is, I think my worry is that, I'm not writing these guys off at all, but it's so hard to come into that Premier League. And then when you're in a relegation battle and you've got half a season to stamp your mark at the club and, try and get keepers up, it's even more pressure on them. So I'm just a little bit weary of that and the pressure that comes along with it,
Right. I'll tell you what, though. The best solution to that is to not buy players who literally have to start every game from now to the end of the season, and to get a couple of options so they can work their way in depending on the opponent, right? I think if you look at this player and then you look at the other one, we're apparently on the verge of signing, having a medical today, might even be in the squad for the Wolves game, is Pablo Felipe. What is it? Pereira de Jesus, whatever.
Just call him Pablo. Let's just call him. Wait, it's too much of a mouthful, mate. Yeah, Pablo's good enough.
I think what's happened here, a lot of people had tears in their eyes watching Pablo Fornals giving a little interview at that last game last Saturday. So they sort of said to the agent, "We must get another Pablo in."
We've re-signed him,
if I'm right.
Yeah. Interestingly, it's his birthday tomorrow, so he's signing for West Ham on his birthday. What a great birthday present that is! I know.
You'll never forget this birthday. But this is obviously a what's his name's agent? What is his name?
Mendes.
Yeah, Mendes. Apparently, he's doing most of the work now. I know he's obviously doing the work on this one on Pablo Felipe because he's one of the Portuguese, isn't he? And also Fernandes was one of his players as well. Which made me a little bit suspicious. I don't think Castellanos is one of his picks. I hope we're not doing another Sullivan have a couple, and you know what I mean.
I heard with that Castellanos, that's a Sullivan signing if it happens, and the other ones are clearly Nuno signings. So I think there might be still a situation whereby Sullivan is still sticking his beak in and having a say so on certain transfers. Yeah,
I think that's what's happening. In which case, Castellanos won't even get a game.
Well, he's a Salthouse player then, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm just guessing,
Well, I'm surprised if they're in money trouble that we're paying 25 million for him. I've got to be honest, but then again, who knows? Now, this guy, Pablo, had a release clause of 15, so we're paying 23 by all accounts. I think total value of the deal. Very, very productive season in terms of goals, double figures, 10 in 13 league games. That's strong for any top flight European league. Portugal have got a couple of good sides in there. We know that, and he plays one of the weaker ones. He's 6 foot tall, solid physical build, loves to mix it with centre half. So he's like the antithesis of the one we were just discussing. This geezer apparently, in one of the podcasts I mentioned, he said he looks at every 50-50 as war. Right? He literally launches himself into duels. He loves it. He relishes it. He's good at holding, even though he's 21, good at holding off defenders with his arms, which is pretty good. Something that our current striker ain't really that good at. Versatile. I think when you look at his stats, he's got some really good stats from last season. The only thing that was missing was goals. This season, his stats have pretty much stayed the same, apart from his added goals to it. So 2 seasons playing for this team in one of the worst teams in that Portuguese league, and he's scoring goals. So they're probably under the cosh a lot of the time. On the face of it, this has got a similar ring to it to Magassa in terms of he ticks all the stats boxes for someone that you would want. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I'm looking at his stats now, Gal, right? So very good this season. Prior to this season, not so great. I'll provide some context to justify what I've just said. Yeah. So you just mentioned he scored 10 goals in 13 matches, which he has so far this season. And he's been very prolific. So if you base it off the amount of shots that he's actually had so far this season, he's only had about 25 shots, and he scored 10 goals out of 25 shots. So that's nothing short of prolific, right? It's almost like a 1 in 2 sort of, ratio. But if you look at his career history, and again, there's context behind this because he is only 21. So I know when you break into a team, you're not going to necessarily hit the ground running. But he's actually only scored 18 goals in 76 appearances, which makes that number look very different compared to the 10 in 13. But again, he's a youngster, he's coming through. So I don't know how many of those were substitute appearances, so on and so forth. But I think what you'll see this season is that team that you mentioned, Gil Vicente, I think it's called.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not a low-ranking team. They're a mid-table team. They're a mid-table team, and they're actually doing all right, to be fair. But that's primarily probably down to him and his goals that he's scoring right now.
Yeah. Why have I never heard of him then?
Gal, do you really follow the Portuguese league? The only teams I really know over there, like Braga, Sporting Lisbon, Porto, teams like that. So I'm not overly familiar with them, but they're a mid-table team. They're not like,
I've heard of Braga though. I've literally never heard of this team. I thought this was when he said from Gil Vicente. I thought that was the author of the article.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to say that I know of them at all. I don't, but I did look them up, and they're a mid-table team. Yeah. Now, I don't want to start getting too excited about this guy. And my kind of expectation levels are very, very low at the moment. They really are, because if you look over the course of X number of years, we know how many strikers we've signed and how many of those proved to be successful. So the chances that this geezer's going to hit the ground running are probably slim to nothing. So for me, anything better than average is brilliant, right? Anything better than average is brilliant for this guy. But in terms of his strengths, like you said, hold up play, physicality, that's great. Okay. All very, very good. I love the fact that he, you said about the 50-50 duel, he looks at it like a war. Brilliant. Because that's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
But if you look on the other side of the coin, if you look at not necessarily the weaknesses, but possibly the concerns, you could say, well, firstly, he's untested in the Premier League. He's 21 years old, 22 tomorrow. Happy birthday. He's not the quickest, right? He isn't the quickest striker in the world. But then again, if you look at Nuno's typical type of striker that he would have playing for him, they're not usually fast. You look at Raul Jimenez, who he signed for Wolves. If you look at, Chris Wood, they're not fast strikers. So I think he fits that profile of being someone that can hold up the play and bring other people into play, the wingers or whoever. So in that respect, that could work quite well, but he doesn't have pace. But I can't help but think, and maybe I'm being a little bit too negative here, but I don't know if you guys remember this. When Nuno was in charge of Wolves, he signed a player called Fabio Silva. And he paid about 35 million for him. And he was a young Portuguese striker. And he was nothing short of shite for them, like really bad. He scored 4 goals in 62 games. So my point being is that this represents a gamble for West Ham. Whatever way you look at it, it is a gamble. No question about it.
Yeah.
Hence, going back to what I said originally at the start of this video, when I said, well, I'm all for getting signings in early, only if they're the right ones. So I'm just hoping that this kid is, say, the real deal, but someone that's going to add value to our attack and someone that can offer us another option, and not someone that is going to be added to that long list of flop strikers that we've signed over the last 15, 20 years. That's my concern with him.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's always a gamble. I mean, there's no way you can be certain that a player, especially a youngster that you get in from overseas, is going to be any good for the Premier League. The only thing I hope is that because we are using the Portuguese league and player expert in Mendes, that maybe he'll know what he's talking about.
Mendes would have been responsible for Fabio Silva joining Wolves.
True. So
I don't know. It is a gamble, but at the same time, I think he has the attributes that we need. We've been saying for a while we need a bit of a bully up front, and I think that's what he is by all accounts. So hopefully he can add a different dimension than what we've already got, because Callum Wilson isn't that physical type of centre forward, is he? He's someone who's got very clever movement off the ball. He's obviously very sharp. He's clinical when he gets the chances. I think this geezer is a little bit different to him in that respect. He's much more physical, better at hold up play, bringing others into play. So Maybe, just maybe he is. But I don't think that we can have too much of a high expectation on him to be delivering goals. I think it'd be more a case of hoping that he can act as that kind of that outlet up front that can bring others into play, that can hold the ball up and get us further up the pitch, because that's what we really need, and we just don't have it at the moment.
Yeah.
But we need more though, Gal. We can't just rely on this young 21-year-old tomorrow kid. We need to get more strikers in. So I'm happy with this signing.
Castellanos.
Yeah, so maybe if we could sign both of them, then that could be a good deal.
How many red cards has he got, Chris?
Who's that?
That the first one was about Tete.
Tete? What?
The first one.
Castellano, I don't know, mate. Oh, what do you think I am? Some kind of walking encyclopedia?
I'm
a bit unprepared for this show, unfortunately, because I should have had these screens for.
Look at that Barnet, Jesus!
I could have had this for every player. This is Adama Traore's injury record for for his whole career. There's quite a lot there. 380 days out injured. A lot of hamstrings in there. This is his current season, right? So, and again, I would have had all this for the other players if the bloody app had worked properly. But anyway, but what we've got here is he's done virtually nothing this season. Unused sub 17 times, right? He's literally every time he comes on, he gets taken off. Well, twice, half the time for this season. But this season is very different to last season, and he had a serious ongoing hamstring, I think, last season. Yeah, he did at the end of 2023, the end of the season before, and I think that's been a massive hindrance to him. If you look at the previous, this is the 24-25 season, yeah. So this is the one before. His stats ain't bad for what he did last season. 37 appearances, 2 goals, 7 assists, 26 starts, not subbed off once. Used substitute 11 times. Unused subs 0 times. It shows that he was a pivotal part of the team last year for Fulham.
Yeah, I mean, I can only go by what some Fulham fans have been telling me, and they say, please take him, please, right?
Well, he's been crap this year for sure. I mean, it's like chalk and cheese. That's the season before. This is the current season. They are two very different sets of stats.
Yeah, they are, but I think he's fallen off anyway, in my opinion. I think he hit his purple patch for Wolves a number of years back, and since then, he's never surpassed that. I think he went to Barcelona, didn't he, for a short stint? Didn't get into their team, then came back to England, and he's just been pretty quiet ever since. I think he might have had one or two relatively decent seasons for Fulham. Maybe last season was one of them, but I don't know. Look, the way I see him is I'm okay with us signing him. It all depends on what the actual fee is going to be, Gal, because if you're talking like, I don't know, 10 million, I think that's too much for him.
I think it is too much. Yeah.
But what is the fee being touted? I mean, I've heard something between 7 and 10 million. I'd much rather we get him on a loan deal, with maybe an option. That for me,
I heard 8 million, but the thing is, I've read on here tonight is, as far from Whetstone said he'd already signed, but he's actually played for Fulham tonight. He's come on from the bench on 85 minutes, and there's a rumour, someone said in the chat, that they want to wait until the AFCON's over to let him go. In which case, what I'm suggesting is, this is a smokescreen, and this gives Sullivan a chance to go and get Castellanos.
Maybe. Yeah, well, I think the club have been, using smoke screens, haven't they? They've been putting names out there that clearly we weren't ever going to go with. I mean, who's that Czech player the other day? Well, not Czech, but the geezer who's playing in the Czech league. I was looking at his record. I was like, why are we going for him? Thank God that hasn't come to fruition, and I'm hoping it doesn't, because I've never even heard of the bloke before.
It's just to piss you off, Chris. We're being linked with Sterling again, so
Here's a question: would you rather have? And I'm interested, seeing what the chat says. Would you rather have Sterling or Adama Traore? Because
Sterling all day long. Sterling all day long, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, I'll take Sterling all day long, mate.
Yeah.
At least he's a goal scorer, right? He will score goals, and he might win some penalties. He just go in the box and just die. Just drop.
That's what he'll do, though, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's what we'll do. After training, he'll hold the diving training sessions and
exactly. Diving coach. We're getting a striker and a diving coach. There's no one better, is there? There's no one better.
Acting school of Sterling.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually, Danny, because not about the diving coach, although I think we could do with a diving coach, to be honest. Yeah. But I do think, though, I remember when Sterling was playing for Chelsea against us, I don't know, it was like the season before last, can't remember. It must have been season before last. Yeah, it was a real pain, and he was causing us a lot of problems. But again, is it a player that we're talking about that's fallen off a bit, that just doesn't have that cutting edge anymore, that doesn't have the pace, doesn't have the desire as well? Because He earned a lot of money, that kid, didn't he? Like as a youngster and everything else. And I just wonder, has he got that? Is he the sort of player that you want in a relegation fight? Because when you go back to the year that we got relegated, when we brought in the likes of Wayne Bridge and Robbie Keane and people like, Robbie Keane was awful for us, and he was a player that was kind of pretty much like Sterling at the tail end of his career. He weren't really up for the fight. He weren't really a player that I think was there for, to help us save us from relegation, in my opinion.
See, between you and me, I was kind of glad he never scored a goal, so he didn't do that fucking tumble and that thing for us. No, wouldn't have sat well.
What are you on about? What, over relegation? I don't. I'm going to give a take and celebrate however he wants. He could do the worm, do the gun thing or whatever. I don't care. If he could have kept us up, I'd be more than happy with that. Jesus, like, come on, mate.
Though. It wasn't upside.
But
he was fucking useless. He kept missing, didn't he?
Yeah, he was bad, and that's what worries me with some of these players. Like I don't know how true Sterling is, but you want to be careful.
A week, by the way, 400 grand a week. We're not paying all that wages. That is above our budget. And how are we paying for these players? By the way, well, typically it will be on 5-year deals. I don't really buy a lot of these transfer fees, but we are apparently selling Luis Guilherme for 17.5 million or 17 million to Sporting, where he'll turn into a superstar. He'll probably top the goal scoring charts in the Champions League.
Leave it out.
Everything else.
Get over it.
Playing up front for Brazil in a couple of years, and we'll be going, look what we could have had.
I don't think we will. And I was wondering why he wasn't getting any game time, just purely down to the fact that we had such a lack of attacking options that he wouldn't even get on the bench. But I have said, and you recall, and I'm sure you'll know this as well, Danny, I had concerns about Luis Guilherme for a long, long time. Fuck, Gary, you used to have a picture of him on your wall in your studio. But do you remember that little wall? Yeah, you did. You had him there glowing. You had the spotlight on Guilherme.
Yeah.
But
I little Chelsea appearance, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah. It was, yeah. One cross. One cross.
10 minutes, Danny. Do
you remember that? I remember that so well. We were doing a vlog and Gary was like, he's the next Pele. Do you remember that?
I did not say that.
You did. I've got the vlog to prove it. I've got the vlog to prove it. So, yes, you did.
Even the bloke opposite was pissing himself laughing.
Yeah, and he weren't even a football fan.
Traore talking about 2.5 million. If it is 2.5 million, I mean, it's per pound. That's quite a lot of bloke per pound. You got to say, right? He is a specimen. He is a specimen. So I reckon that's the sort of person that's a bench player that you bring on for the last 20 minutes to, do his free sprints that he can do before he's all blown out. And I mean, he always worried me when he came on against us because he used to give us a torrid time. He hasn't in recent years.
It was predominantly West Ham he gave a torrid time to. Not many other teams. It was just us. So, well, maybe, I don't know. I've not been following his career week by week, but you're right. He did always give us a bit of a bad time, but I don't know. I mean, the way I see this is he's an upgrade on Guilherme. At least this guy's got physicality and Guilherme's got next to no physicality. So in that regard, it's probably a good signing for us. The lack of end product concerns me because we need people that are either going to assist goals or score goals. This guy couldn't hit a barn door. Let's be honest. He cannot score goals. So I just hope that from a physicality point of view, he can just help us get the ball further down the other end of the pitch. And I don't know.
Nobody's got the same story on this. So Colin's saying that it's a 6-month loan. Someone's saying it's 2.5 million. I heard it was about 8 million, which I nearly spat my coffee out over. He's over, but he's not as over as Traore, surely. Travis Sterling, they could pull up the carpet and have a little 100 meters, couldn't they? There's probably a couple of lanes there for it, isn't there? You could get Guilherme in there. Do you reckon Guilherme would strip them both? I reckon he would.
Oh yeah, he's rapid, but he's gone anyway. But then go back to Guilherme. I see you're saying he's going to Lisbon, isn't he, for around about 14 million with potential add-ons?
Yes.
So does that not kind of speak volumes in terms of what kind of player he is?
Well,
I think it does. I just think it proves to me that, bearing in mind, we're taking a Portuguese striker, right, from Portugal for 20 million, and we're letting go of Guilherme for 15. I mean, what? I don't know. I wonder how.
Maybe they're just good at spotting talent. I think they've maybe picked him out. So Sterling's wages they're a mere 325 grand a week. It's a bargain.
I don't want him for that reason alone.
I did say though that I think Chelsea were happy to pay the full lot, but again, who knows?
What, just to get rid of? They'll pay the full lot to let him move across to us,
just on loan, just to cover his wages. But again, how true it is, who knows? But
he's not coming according to Steinberg. Well, of course he's not. I mean, you got to read between the lines on these, right? Firstly, the two players we're getting from Italy and especially from Gil Vicente, their wages are going to be peanuts, right? Take no notice of the headline total deal value because we're never going to pay that. That's if they win the World Cup twice, and the Premier League. Probably half of that, and it's going to be paid over 5 years, and offset that against what we get coming in from Fulkrug and from this one. And there's rumours that Guido, we've found more suitors for Guido. We've found at least 3 clubs that are interested in taking a little look at second-hand Guido.
Apparently, Juventus are interested in him. Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Mad. They see him, but they see him more as a ball-playing, sort of more further forward attacking midfielder. I'm like, really? I didn't see that.
Is he?
Yeah, I know. It's mad. I don't even know what he is, to be honest with you. I don't. Yeah. I mean, he is a Sabutio player, isn't he? He just sort of stands there, no movement, nothing at all. You know, he looks like he's running in treacle half the time. He's just a bit glad to see the back of him. I really would. Even when you see him warming up on the side, he's trying his hardest to catch up with the other players warming up. He's so slow. He's ridiculously slow.
DBZ saying Sterling looks like he runs from like Velma from Scooby Doo. He has got a funny run, hasn't he?
He has. His arms kind of flip around like that when he runs, doesn't he? He's like a Kenwood mixer or something. He's like, he is. He's a funny old. Yeah, he does run funny. Yeah.
Sterling.
He's got bigger hands though. Yeah. He's got bigger hands, like either him or Pickford.
Pickford.
The little hands, didn't they? Yeah, they got the small hands. Yeah, that's why they called him the dinosaur, didn't they?
Keeper's got big hands.
Yeah, I know, but he's got small arms.
Oh, I didn't know. That's useless.
Pickford's got small arms.
Yeah, that's why they got the dinosaurs.
Small arms. I didn't
even notice that.
Yeah.
Never noticed that. He's not the tallest keeper in the world, is he? Either. So small arms, quite short, but he's good with his feet. He is good with his feet, isn't he? Yeah.
Scoring no goals for Arsenal, who basically dominate other teams for 90 minutes.
But he didn't play much, though, Gal. He didn't play much. To be fair,
17 times, Chris. 17 times.
Well, that's not that much, is it? And most of those times were coming off the bench. Oh, shut up. Well, yeah, but all right, Mr. Stato, work out how many minutes he played as well. I'm not defending Sterling here, but I'm just saying.
I could have told you, but I can't. Yeah, I can't believe we're discussing Sterling. Me neither. But we always do. And every transfer window from now until the end of time, we will discuss Sterling, the Sterling situation. Like Idiger Johnson, we will link with him every window.
Yeah. Even after he retires, we'll still be linking him with West Ham. Still be linking with like we did. What was that other geezer from Colombia that we used to always get linked with? I forget his name now. Carlos Bacca. Was it? It was him, wasn't it?
Carlos Bacca,
yeah. Every season he was back again. You see what I did there? He was back again. All right, sorry. But yeah, no, it was just ridiculous, wasn't it?
Reham Sterling.
Reham stealing.
Reham stealing. Is that what
that's what it just said? Reham stealing.
Reham stealing. Yeah.
Here you go, Danny. There's a comment. They're both related to Jeremy Beadle. That is why they have. No. But to get this right, Jeremy Beadle only had one small hand.
He did one little hand.
One small hand. Yeah.
He used to deliberately try to shake hands with people with a little hand. You know that.
I remember years ago, he opened up when I used to live in Ilford when I was a kid. He opened up the Ilford Exchange. You know the Ilford Exchange, right? He had done the grand opening of that. And I remember seeing him there with his little hand and stuff. And I never knew he had a little hand until that point.
Me neither.
So there you go.
He hit it well on telly, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Did he use kid scissors to cut the ribbon off?
Juventus called, I assume Guilherme, the Argentine Busquets.
No. You're talking about Guido Rodriguez. That's what he's talking about.
Guido Rodriguez.
Yeah, not Guilherme. No.
That's what I meant. Yeah, it begins with G. I got a little bit.
All the same, aren't they? All the same. Yeah,
all the same.
Yeah.
So
all crap.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing they have all got in common, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all useless.
Beadle had one short finger. Bloody hell, you've studied Beadle quite closely, haven't you, Christian?
It's quite concerning.
I never knew that.
He wasn't a big fan with the women, apparently, either, Jeremy Beadle.
That's your eyes back on. Yeah, that's your eyes back on. Manson's got to be out, hasn't he? He's got to be looking for a club, hasn't he? And James Ward-Prowse has got to be looking for a club. Also, the big rumour is that Bayern Munich want Paqueta for 60 million.
Take him.
Fucking have their hands off. Double quick.
Yeah.
No loan before you buy a deal. None of that shit. Because you won't pay. You'll send him back.
Yeah. I honestly, I think £60 million would be mugging him off for that. In truth,
yeah.
I can't see that happening. 60 million for Paqueta, not in current form.
The thing is, he's a problem, isn't he? Because sometimes, like when he was taking that penalty the other night and playing in Bowen for a goal. sometimes he does. That's his first assist in about 2 years, I think. Great assist. And the
penalty,
penalty,
wasn't it?
I love seeing him take penalties. Absolutely love it. That is the bastard that we don't see very often, right? Bayern can have Paqueta for 30. No, not if they're willing to spend 60.
Go, it said 20. I'm a bit worried about your new eyes. It said 20 million. Yeah. How are your eyes, by the way?
No. Sorry, I wasn't exactly reading it. I can see that clearly, yes. No, they're great. They're really good. They're really good. It's I can see everything really clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even my long sight will improve in a couple of months, but it's all right at the moment. It's just not, They
still adjusting.
About 3 months. Because Danny's had it. Isn't it, Danny? 3 months. Yeah. 3 months. They sort of gradually get a bit better.
I think obviously I had mine done when I was about 19, 20.
Yeah.
So I literally just said, come home, sleep for 2 hours, and then you should be fine. And literally I was like, are you sure? And then literally looked out the window. I was just looking down the street trying to read number plates because I could actually see. Yeah. So for me, it was literally instant. But yeah.
Well, the short sight, in the afternoon when I had it done, I was standing out in the kitchen and there was a load of tins on the side, load of tiny little microfiche writing on the back, right? And I could read it. I mean, that was just like a blur a little while ago.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I need to do that.
I don't care, Jason. Let it freak you out. Long mate.
What's this one here? Chris, back off the mic. Gobbing bang. No. Fuck off. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. Right. Charlie Cresswell is the next one. At Leeds, off rubbish, wait and see. Charlie Cresswell at Leeds, load of rubbish, wait and see. Well, better than what we got, maybe. He's got to be better than Kilman, hasn't he?
I'd be happy with Charlie Cresswell because I think he's a player that's got something to prove. Because rather him than getting, some over the hill sort of centre half that's kind of been there, done it, got the t-shirt and hasn't got the passion to want to prove himself in the Premier League. So why not bring in a youngster? He's done well for the under-21s and everything else. I think he's a player that needs to step up. So I'd be quite happy with him. And as you said, he's got to be better. Got to be better than what we've got. I mean, seriously, I'd have you two at centre half as a centre half pairing rather than the pairing we've got at the moment. I would have you,
honestly.
Mate, with your new vision, mate, and that amazing left peg of yours, I think it'd be brilliant. You'll be the ball playing centre half on the left hand side, which we do lack, and Danny will be there as like the bulldozer in next year. I can see it. I think it'd work. Might have a height problem. I don't know. It might be a height problem, but
yeah, there will be.
Yeah.
Have we had any update on Tadebo's injury and how long he might be out for? Do we know? Or
no, I don't know if there's anything in the thingy. Let's have a look.
Because I just wonder if that would hamper the Kilman going to Palace, or I think they showed some interest, didn't they? And at this time, whether or not it will still happen.
I think they changed their mind after watching the Brighton game, mate. I think they would have changed their mind.
To be honest with you, I'm actually surprised they're interested in the first place, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
me too. Well, there's a report here, but you have to get past all the adverts to kind of find out what. These wind me up. These things, they really do. There's nothing in there that says a thing about his injury.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's anything serious. I don't think it is. So I would imagine if he's out, maybe it's going to only be for a game or two max. But we do need him back because really playing Kilman and Mavropanos, we know that's like the nightmare centre back pairing. They don't work well together, despite the fact they did okay when he came on the other day for Tadebo. But that does worry me a little bit. It does. Yeah, I think we need to... what's frightening, though? Like, when I was watching that game, and where I sit down, I was watching the subs warming up. And it's funny, what they do is, I don't know if this is done on purpose, but they get the youngsters warming up on their own, and they get the senior players warming up as a group, like two separate groups.
Really?
You look at... Yeah, they do. It's right in front of you, Gus. So next time you go to game, you see, so there was, Golan Bekis, there was Ezra Mayers, Kante and Earthy. They were training warming up together on the touchline. And then they had the other subs, can't remember, they were Wilson, Souček and Rodriguez and whoever, warming up on, coming on separately and warming up. It's quite interesting. But when you look at that bench, it makes you realise, and it kind of really puts into context how badly we lack depth in our squad, experience, quality, depth in our squad. Because really, if, let's say, Tadebo is out for more than a game or two, who's going to be our next choice if one of those geezers gets injured? Is it going to be Golan Bekis? I mean, and I'm not saying that he's not good enough. But
Mayers, I would think he'd be all right. He'd be.
But he's a left back though, Gal. So
he's a centre half, isn't he? He's a centre half. He was playing left back. He's a centre half.
No, he played right back when he came on the other day. He played right back. Yeah, he played right back, and I think he struggled a bit.
I thought his natural position was centre half, though. Am I wrong?
I think he plays left back, and I think he can play left back and also left side of a centre back pair, maybe. So, but I mean, they're not great options, are they? With all due respect, I'm not saying they're not going to be good players, but to rely on youngsters like that in a relegation scrap, we do need a centre half. We definitely need a centre half.
Yeah. So Lingard wants to come back still, Chris.
Did you see the interview with that? Did you see his interview? Did you see that?
What did he say?
No. It's come through. I've just not watched it.
Yeah, I saw it. It was basically someone was interviewing me, said, it was always West Ham for me. Quote unquote, it was like, it was always West Ham for me. I really wanted to join West Ham. They had a 3-year deal on the table for me. But there were certain things, I don't know what it was, that weren't right. So, he was almost like reluctantly joined Forest as a result. It's like, so hold up a minute. On a 1-year contract, by the way. So he turned down a 3-year contract with West Ham to sign a 1-year contract with Forest, but he really wanted to join West Ham. So he's clearly put himself back in the window again to say, look, West Ham, come and get me. But you got to question the guy's integrity due to the fact that we know why. It was because Forest offered to pay, I think, around about 10 grand more a week. It was something really ridiculous like that. There was something like that, wasn't it? I don't know if I think it was something like that. It was down to money, right?
Yeah, 100%. It was all over. And that's why we went up there and threw the fake money at him, didn't they?
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. But I don't know.
We've turned down the chance to sign Promise David. And on that Analytics United video that I watched earlier, the one that we're signing, Pablo, is like the third choice of one of the hosts, and Promise David was the first choice. Does look like an intriguing player, but 24 million, we've said no, because it is just Promise with him at the moment, right? He's not the end product, but he does look pretty good. He looks like one of these. I don't know, maybe a. Who's the bloody hell? My memory's going. Who's the guy that we had? Who's the striker we had who looked like he used to make it up as he went along? He played in it's like one shop.
One shop.
Big leggy, improvising sort of player who kind of does stuff that's really, really out of the ordinary.
We could do with a player like that because if he doesn't know what he's doing, then definitely the centre halves don't know what he's doing either. It's great. He was one of those sort of players you just didn't know what to expect. I'll never forget that goal when he was playing for Derby and he scored against Man United, where he ran the full length of the pitch and took on pretty much the whole team. And he didn't get over the keeper. It was like, oh my God, who is this geezer? He was unbelievable. Yeah, he was a decent player. Yeah, he was all right. Bring back One Shop. Let's link it. Let's be linked with him.
Yeah, no, it is. We've been linked with Alex Disasi, Chelsea centre half.
Yeah, they call him Disaster for a reason because he's don't want him. See, that's the thing. If you're looking at Axel Disasi versus Charlie Creswell, who are you going to take? Yeah, any day of the week.
Yeah.
More stories on 325 grand a week. Loki with a funny arms. Right, Lazio, West Ham finalising move for. Oh no! I'm just looking through to see if there's anything that's new that's popped in. There isn't really. I think it's all rehashed nonsense. Other than that, I think we've covered everything that's real. Because I don't think that Sterling is real. I can't. Having said that, X has actually confirmed that we're in talks with them.
Not necessarily. Oh, come on, mate. You know what it's like with all these rumours going around. It doesn't mean anything. It could be just, again, another smoke screen, couldn't it?
Well, let's hope so. But if it's a choice of him or... As long as we don't have to pay all his wages, I mean, nowhere near all his wages, we can't be paying anything like it. I mean, for him, what do you reckon? 80 grand a week?
Yeah, no more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the problem is, how much football has he played? He's not played at all, has he?
No, he's not. He's not played at all. He's not played at all. If you're wondering, but going back to the thing before we move on to Wolves, if you're wondering where all the money's coming from, I think we are raising funds through selling as many players as we can, right, to fund this little expedition. And we're probably not paying. They're going to say, like they always do, we're paying 25 million to bring in Tony Castellanos. You actually look at the deal; it's probably about 16 plus add-ons, right? And the other geezer had a 15 mil release clause. But they're calling it 23 million. So why would you pay more than 15 if it was a 15 million release clause?
Well, you wouldn't, would you? Yeah, well, you wouldn't. So, yeah, I don't know.
And Traore, surely that's peanuts.
It's got to be. I mean, like I said just now, I don't think that he's a player we should be spending like 10 million on. No way. No way. I mean, how old is he now anyway? I don't even know. He's got about 29. Must be. Is he 30? Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, he's 30 in a couple of days. So Arsenal paid 100k, Chelsea paid the rest. I mean, Chelsea well overpaid for him, didn't they? Bloody hell, it's murder. But yeah, 100 or less for us. We need to pay less than Arsenal, obviously.
Oh yeah. Well, we ain't got the money, have we, for starters? And also he's a year older as well. So why should we be paying the same amount?
We are the only club in for Pablo. What's his name? There's not a fight for his signature. That don't mean he's bad.
No, but that was by design, though.
What I've seen, actually.
That was kind of by design to some extent, because there was all these kind of other names being touted out there, but they were doing that one under the radar a little bit, weren't they? So, but that being said, I mean, we know about it, so I'm sure other clubs know about it as well. But yeah, you're right. I mean, why aren't other teams going in for him? I suppose other teams down at the bottom don't really need a striker as much as we do. You know, we probably are the one team where we are desperate, probably more than most teams need a striker. They've got 33-year-old Callum Wilson. That's it. If he goes down, we've got no one. Like literally no one to play up front apart from Callum Marshall. That's it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So 15 million is the release clause, paid in full up front with agreed 23 instalments. Sterling's was 31 in December. He's not old enough for us to sign on a permanent deal yet then. So you need to be a couple of years older than that, didn't you?
Yeah. 38 minimum, I'd say.
Yeah.
38 would be the prime time we'll be signing him up.
Right, so that's brought you all up to date with the transfer news. There's a lot of it. You know it's going to be a silly season, right? We know that Pablo is coming, pretty much, from what we've seen. We think that Castellanos is coming as well. Traore looks like it's been kicked into the long grass until after the AFCON. We'll see what happens there. And apparently, once they've done the strikers, are going to move on to defenders.
I think it's the right approach. I think it's exactly the right approach. I was talking about Leeds and the other teams around us that are attacking teams. I've said this last time we did a show, and I said I think our best form of defense is to attack. You know, I'd much rather see us trying to outscore opponents rather than trying to stop opponents, because you know something my mate said to me earlier on today, and it's absolutely true. When you go one goal up, and you know what West Ham are like, we try and defend that goal for as much of that game as we possibly can do. It's like a 90% chance that that's not going to happen. It very rarely happens. If you score a goal in the first 10, 15 minutes, very rarely do you hold on to that one goal lead and win the game 1-0. So we need to start attacking teams more. We really, really do. And so I genuinely would much rather it be gung-ho, attack and try and outscore the opponents. It'd be a much better watch for us as supporters as well. I know that's not Nuno's style, but I do think that getting in strikers and attacking players is the priority for us, for sure.
I think we're going to see more of the same. I've got to be honest. We're going to see this is his style. Yeah. Is to get a lead and then to defend like fuck and hold on to it. And it worked for Forest for a year. Worked for Wolves for a while as well. But he did have more dynamic wing players. And he had some quite cute midfielders as well. We've got a decent midfield, though. Can't argue with that. But the pace down the wing, I guess one of them's Traore. I suppose it depends what happens to Paqueta as well. I just don't think anyone's paying 60 million for Paqueta.
Do you think he'll go this
he's
month?
Worth any more than 30.
Do you think he'll go this month?
I think he will, yeah. Mind you, it depends, because he keeps talking him up all the time, doesn't he? I mean, it's like the other night, it was so frustrating because it's like he gives a penalty away, should have been a goal, and then you don't want anyone but him taking the penalty down the other end.
I know.
Intermittent. He's just not suited for a relegation struggle, is he?
No. Like I said before, he's a top 8 player. You know, give him a bit of freedom. You can make the odd mistake, you know, without any danger of them going down. He can't be involved in a relegation dogfight like we're in right now. It's a luxury player that we can't afford to have. I think he's a quality player. I think he's a talented player, but not for us right now.
No.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like sometimes playing with 10 men, isn't it, really?
Yeah, for sure. So here we go. Romano announced second West Ham striker in 2 days. Yeah. Let's see how good these strikers are and hope for the best, because that's really all we can do, isn't it? We're signing randoms, really, but we were supposed to be strikers to signing this Castellanos in the summer. That's all I say. He ain't come out of the blue. He's been around for a while. I quite like the look of him when I reviewed him in the summer as well.
Well, he looks good on paper, doesn't he? I've not seen him play, so I couldn't tell you.
As we know, the game's not played on paper, is it, Chris?
Exactly that. No, 100%, mate. But I don't know. I'm not getting excited by these signings, and it's not because they're not good players. They might be good, and I hope they're very good. But I just don't see the point of getting excited and optimistic about them, particularly when you haven't heard of them. What's the point of that? Like when you've got a striker you've never heard of before, that's been prolific for half a season in a a substandard league, which it is, in all honesty. We shouldn't be getting excited for that. That's why my bar is so low. Like I said earlier, it's that low. It's so low. It couldn't be any lower, mate. Honestly, it couldn't be any lower right now. I have no expectations of a signing quality because that's what West Ham has done to me. It's conditioned me to expect crap every week and crap signings and crap strikers.
You know what? I don't think we're selling Kilman to Palace. Do you think we're selling Kilman to Palace? Because he's got 5 years to run on his contract.
No, if we do that, I say we have a proper knees up and celebrate. Because any team that's going to sell... No, and for anything close to what we paid for him, I think they'd have to be off their heads, wouldn't they, Crystal Palace? And I don't think Crystal Palace is a very well-run football club. They're not that stupid to go out and sign Kilman, are they, for a decent amount of money? No club is that stupid apart from us.
They do use the same set of agents that we do, believe it or not.
I don't know.
I suppose it all depends if Gahey goes, isn't it? And then they are going to be scuppering around for
Liverpool want him. The Liverpool want him still.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They still want him.
So, yeah.
Imagine you're a Palace fan, though, Dan. Can you imagine that? You're a Crystal Palace fan. You see Mark Gahey walk out the door and in comes Max Kilman. I mean, you'd be like, come on, really? That's like you're kicking me in the balls here. That's just not acceptable. Yeah. You wouldn't. It's like chalk and cheese, isn't it?
No. Yeah.
So they've opened the X-ray machines late at night for Pablo's medical. Ahead of completing a 20 million, it is now, move from the author Gil Vicente. West Ham United are hoping to get the deal done in time to register him to play against Wolves. It's the same old update. Right. Palace paying 33.5 million for Brennan Johnson.
I think they've done well there, to be honest with you. I think that's
player,
quite a good signing for them.
Pretty good, yeah.
Goal scorer.
I mean, considering what Spurs paid for him, they've lost a bit of money in there, haven't they? So I think that's quite a good signing for them. And I think they're quite, especially at the minute with the AFCON and stuff, I think they're quite weak down that right-hand side. So I think it'd be a good fit for them, actually.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, let's talk about the next game, because this is genuine shit or bust, the next two games, right? Wolves followed by Forest a few days later. We let Fulham off the other day, like we've let a lot of teams off, and Brighton as well. There is no option but to beat Wolves, is there?
Well, you have to. Minimum 3 points, minimum 6 points from the next two games. If we've got any aspirations of staying up, we have to get maximum points out of Wolves and Forest. Have to.
Yeah.
But it's West Ham, isn't it?
Are we going to?
It's West Ham, isn't it? So, they've not won a game all year. You can flip that and say, well, it could be their first game that they win against West Ham, couldn't it? That's the problem. But we've got to have the right attitude in that game from the start to the finish. And I think if we get the attitude right, I think there's every chance that we can win it. Because I've watched a bit of Wolves and they actually play in spells some quite nice football.
Yeah.
So, if they can get their teeth into that game, they will cause us problems.
Yes.
I think you're right. They were unlucky against United the other day. I think they should have won that game. And they played some decent football. So that's like the new manager bounce for you. And then you also take into consideration that they only narrowly lost to Liverpool 2-1 as well. It's not like they're getting tonked at the moment. So I think the new manager is clearly doing something there. So I do think that we need to be a bit worried about this one. We can't turn up there thinking, we're playing with the worst team in the league. They're worse than us and we're going to win this. We have to go out there and we've got to fight for every flipping ball, every challenge of the lot, because if we don't, we end up losing. Honestly, I really worry that we're going to lose that game. I know you mentioned that as well, Gal, but like we're talking games aren't won on paper. Well, you'd like to think that we'd win that game.
Yeah.
But as you said, Dan, it's all down to attitude and application and making sure that they give it their all. And if they don't, anything short of that is not going to be enough.
No.
So look, what's happened here? Well, we've got. Let's hope we can have some options. He does look like he's got the right kind of aggression, this geezer, but I don't think a striker's going to come in and just instantly hit the ground running with a new team, is he? Who knows? Who knows? Bit of luck. Same break our way. We haven't really had much luck lately, I've got to say, in terms of the ball breaking for us. It tends to break for the opposition quite well, and the referees are always shit and go against us. That is not an excuse. I mean, that's just, you know, it's more things that heaped against us, as well as our own crappy play and bad defending.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even a Brighton game, the amount of times that there's 50-50 balls and it bobbles off a knee and it never falls to us, ever.
Yes.
We never get that bit of luck.
We don't. And it's been like that for a while now. I don't know why. I think we're playing a penance for winning the trophy for the first time in so many years. Got to pay it back with shit luck now. We will beat Wolves 2-0, says Colin Chilvers. Let's do that. Let's do a prediction. So, I don't know if I mentioned it. I was on Sky again the other day with Jamie O'Hara, right? And I think I mentioned it.
Never knew
I did say that I think we're going to be that team that goes there and loses.
Did you say we're going to lose?
I said I think we're going to be that team that goes there and loses, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did watch it, yeah.
Sounds like it.
No, I did watch it, mate. I did. Yeah, I think I did. I did watch it, mate. All right, I'm not like. Yeah, I did. I swear I did.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I believe you.
Riveting stuff. No, it was good. It was funny, mate. No, it was brilliant. No, it was funny. It was funny. Like gallows humour and all that. It was good, and I think you kind of need a bit of that, particularly what we're going through right now. I don't like Jamie O'Hara laughing at us, though. I don't like Jamie O'Hara. Next time you do go on, just tell him he's a bit of a muppet. You know, please do that. That'd be really good. We'd all love you.
Well, one thing I could have used is someone that I know is a whole season ticket holder, right? And they used to call him Chunk down at Hull.
What?
So I could have brought that into the conversation a little bit.
No, you know what Jamie O'Hara did? I remember. So I've seen a clip of this, and I didn't watch the program, but he was on some kind of like dating program. I don't know if you've seen this, Danny. And there's a clip of Jamie O'Hara, and basically he hasn't told anyone that he's a TalkSport presenter. I'm not even going to call him a football player because he was a very average football player. All right,
he's not a presenter; he's a pundit, isn't he?
A pundit, whatever you want to call him, right? Knobhead, whatever. Anyway, he was on this. He was on this program, and then right at the end, he'd done the grand unveiling to this girl that he was apparently going on a date, and he turned around. He goes, "There's something I need to tell you." He goes, "I'm actually a really famous football player from England." I mean, you can't get further from the truth, can you? I'm a really and also like I don't know, some national TV star or some crap like that. Yeah. And I watched it. I laughed, and the comment section was hilarious. Like, what are you on about? Really famous? You're not a really famous football player. Come on, let's get real with this. He's not. So maybe bring that up. Well,
no. What I could have done is when he said something like, "You sometimes get some good value for loan players." I could have said, "Well, you should know because you were loaned out more than the library book."
Yes, you do that, Gary. Please, honestly, everyone would be rating if you do that. That'd be amazing. Seriously, that'd be brilliant.
No, I'll have it lined up next time. The trouble is with those shows is you don't know who you're going to be up against until you're sort of in the virtual green room.
Yeah, well, as soon as you find it, just go on ChatGPT and put down, I don't know, like just go on there and say, right, whatever the person's name is, and say, I don't know, find out, the most derogatory information you can about that person, and just go on there and give it to him if they start slagging West Ham off. Because he even said to you, and this is a proof that I did watch your video, by the way, he even said to you, you probably remember when I put one in the top corner at Upton Park. See, I did watch it, you see. And I did like your response to it. Like, don't remember that. don't remember that, mate.
He did in his career.
That was probably his highlight. That is his highlight. That's the reason why.
That was his FA Cup.
You should have. That's what you should have said to him.
He watches it every night before he goes to bed.
Yeah, but you should have said to him that was your cup final, wasn't it? You scored in your cup final, didn't you? You should have said that. It would have been brilliant.
He's got a life-size picture of it on his wall, hasn't
he? He's got a life-size picture of it on his ceiling when he goes to bed.
So, look, let's talk about, what do you think going to happen? Even though I said that on there, I realistically think we're going to go there and win. I think Nuno will know how to win. And I think Kilman might be confident for once until they get on his back. Might play the game of his life, Kilman. Because he was a big fish in a small pond there, wasn't he? Yeah, now he's a little tiny fish in a massive, great big fish bowl.
I don't know. He's a bit of a lump, isn't he, Kilman? He's a bit. I think he's a bit too. I don't know. He looks like he's. I don't want to say carrying a bit, but he's so slow, isn't he, with the ball? Like he just doesn't seem to have that kind of. I don't want to say flexibility. It sounds a bit weird, but he doesn't seem to have that kind of I don't know. He's not. I've got a fundamental problem with Kilman. He just seems to me like he's half asleep every single game. He really does. Like he's not aware of what's going on. It's almost like you just.
I know it's a phenomenon with him. He does lose concentration and nod off during games.
You just almost want to slap him around the face and say, "Wake up! You're playing a game of football here, mate." You know, that's how it feels. Actually, one thing I will say, I did see, which is a positive for me, because I always say about the lack of leadership in our team and how I don't hear the players talking or anything like that. For the first time in probably a very long time, if ever, I heard Areola commanding his defence to get further up the pitch. And he was really loud. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know Areola could speak. But like literally, he's getting him up the pitch. I was like, I'm pleased to hear him doing that, because about bloody time. Maybe he realises he needs to get in Kilman's ear because he's half asleep all the time. You know, that's what it is.
They're going to invite Igor back from his extended vacation, his extended New Year's Eve party. He was off his tits last night, I reckon, Igor. And now he's got to sober up in time for Saturday.
What's happened to him? What has actually happened to him, though, really? You know?
Igor?
Not even... Yeah, he's not even on the bench, is he? Like, he can't even get on the bench now.
I thought he did all right. That time he came on at home, where he drifted into midfield and he looked like, you know, he was fucking brilliant. He played that ball in for actually an assist.
I know. Honestly, after that performance, I thought you were going to get a picture of him up on your wall again, mate, like Guilherme. But, you know, he's just disappeared, hasn't he?
Can't we put one of those dog collars, you know, the electric ones? Put one of them dog collars on Kilman to keep him awake. Put a pin in the ground, like on the edge, on the 6-yard box. So whenever he drifts 6 yards, 18-yard box, whenever he stops moving, give him a little jolt.
Yeah, like a wireless tens machine. Yeah, wireless tens machine on his feet. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a great idea. I think we need 11 of them, though, for all of the players, to be fair.
Yeah. So I reckon we're going to win. I'm going to go 2-1. What do you reckon, Danny?
Well, obviously, I want West Ham to win, but I don't know. I just can't see it. I think there'll be goals, obviously.
Should I take tissues in the car to wipe my eyes on the way back?
Might be a good idea, mate.
I hope it's for that anyway. What do you reckon, Dan?
I think we'll lose 2-1. But I think, I think I can just see it. It's just, you know, the confidence boost of West Ham, isn't it? Oh, you haven't won? Go on, we'll help you out.
If we do win, we go to Forest, and then for once, Forest are facing an uphill battle, right?
Who Forest got next? Who Forest got next, though? Do you know?
Villa, who are going to spread them all over the pitch. Yeah.
Well, in theory, but then if they don't, but I'm just saying.
Everton in a very tame way the other night, 2-0.
I know, but it's a funny old league, and you just don't know, do you? Some of these games and some of these results you wouldn't call. I think there are teams out there that are picking up points from games that you wouldn't necessarily think that they would beforehand. So I wouldn't say that's a given. I just worry. I mean, this is the problem. I was saying this to you, Danny, the other day. I kind of feel like I'm already at that point where I'm looking at other results, which is mental when it's already at a half-season point. But I'm like, oh, God, they're playing them playing them. You know, I'm thinking about that even before we've kicked the ball. Which usually do that in the last sort of like 5 or 10 games of the season, maybe if you're in a scrap. Now, I'm looking at it now. That's how much of a perilous position we're in. But I'm with you, Danny. I'm worried we're going to lose that game. I really am. Of course, I want West Ham to win and everything else. But as I've said already before, my expectation levels is so low right now. I don't know. I've got a feeling we could end up losing 2-1 as well.
I can't predict a loss away to Wolves, because if we lose to them, we're probably all but down, because that then gives Forest a shot in the arm, because if Wolves can beat us, they can fucking beat us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But if we do beat them, we go into the Forest game. Forest are on the back foot. We could beat Forest and come out the bottom 3.
I think Forest are a better team than us, though. Do you know, I will revise it. I kind of feel like we've got to get this win from somewhere. You know, we can't keep just getting draws and
dig it out. We've got to dig it out.
Yeah, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to say 2-1 West Ham, but it's going to be a scrappy one.
Sorry,
I think
you've already registered your vote.
I haven't registered. Sod all, mate. What are you talking about? It's not some kind of official ballot or vote thing, is it? No, I'm saying 2-1. I can revise what I want. Yeah, it's 2-1. 2-1. 2-1 to West Ham. 2-1 to West Ham. Kilman to get a brace. That's what I'm going with.
All right. And Danny, what are you saying?
Again, look, I've said obviously bought my stamp to win, but I just can't help but think there's going to be a couple of mistakes and we're going to lose 2-1.
2-1. We're going to lose 2-1.
I think we'll lose 2-1.
Yeah. Fucking hell, it's not looking good. Me and Chris have been the positive ones here, which is very unusual.
You are.
Very unusual.
Well, you're
Pablo comes in and gets hat-trick.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine if Kilman discovers the inner Max on Saturday and he gets out there and he's fucking bullet headers into the top corner. It's like the Maximilian we ain't seen before. Max turns into Maximilian.
Do you remember that goal that Vincent Kompany scored from about 35 yards out when he put his foot through it and he went top bins? Imagine Kilman did something like that. Oh, yeah. That'd be like orgasmic, wouldn't it? That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. But that ain't going to happen. Let's get real.
We're going to go 1-0 up. We're going to sit back, try and defend it for the whole second half.
You can see it happening.
Really you can. You can see that. That's exactly what worries me. It's almost like you don't want West Ham to score early or first. You just rather it kind of get to do you know what I mean? Like maybe half time or something, 0-0, and then we have a go because I just find it too stressful. Like literally defending for like 80 minutes of a game, it's just too much.
Can I tell you a fantasy of mine that ain't going to come true? Right?
I don't know.
Is that we beat Wolves, we beat Forest. By the time Arsenal come to town, we're comfortable. We're up, right? And they need to beat us because City are up their arse. And then we pull out one of those performances out of somewhere and we beat them and stop them winning the league. Imagine.
Yeah.
Claire's coming to that game as well. Claire's coming to that game, Katie.
Yes, she is. Yeah. Hopefully bringing a bit of luck our way. But that would be amazing. That would be I'm loving your fantasy there, Gal.
Well, it is just that. It is just a fantasy. But Tati Castellanos, Tati to West Ham. Here we go. Deal agreed for 29 million bollocks euros. We ain't paying fucking 29 million euros for him. Don't you worry about that. What's that in pounds? 25? 24?
About that, something like that, yeah.
Full price of the deal. So that's including add-ons. So that's probably 15 million plus about 9 million of add-ons. Paid over 5 years, 3 million up front. Bosh, way you go.
Someone's saying, what are you smoking, girl?
Well, I think, listen, if you don't continue to be optimistic, why would you bother?
Hey, no, you've got to be, but I think that optimism is being drained out of us, and understandably so. It's very hard.
It's misguided optimism. I'm not saying it isn't. I mean, it's completely unrealistic and not one with reality. You know, our youth players were taking all the corners. I noticed that they were taking all the corners on Tuesday. What's his name? Who was very, very impressive. My man of the match at left back. Scholes.
Ollie Scholes, yeah. Do you know, I was so delighted for him actually because I think he needed that, and also it just shows real good character from him after that mistake that he made the other day. I was really pleased.
It really does because he didn't shirk out of anything. It was full blooded. It shows he's more than met the eye, perhaps. You know about him. Sunderland holding Man City so far. They're going to ruin my dream, my fantasy. They're going to ruin it. Bloody Sunderland. We're knackered in the last. Yes, we are knackered in the last 15 minutes. And why is that? Is it because the players we've got are not used to doing this pressing and they do like half hour of it and they're fucking out on their feet? Or is it because we don't press from the front and you really need to press from the front as well? Yeah,
we don't press from the front. So I don't know why then. I think there might be an issue with our fitness in general, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because why is it that we're always knackered, but the opposition aren't? But then having said that, the opposition do have the opportunity to bring on, reinforcements off the bench, and we don't really, do we? So we're kind of dependent very much on our first 11 all the time. You take off
reinforcements as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like you take off Callum Wilson. You could see the booze around the ground when they took him off the other day. I think he was knackered, weren't he? Though he was a bit knackered, but still, I just felt keep him on. It's almost like you're inviting the team to come at you when you're saying we're taking our striker off. That's him. I think we were.
Yeah.
Borderline delusion, Simon. Let's call it that. It's just a fantasy. I know it won't come true. Fantasies never do. Not my ones, anyway. All right. Trojan and Chris. Let's leave it there.
What's that?
Sunderland got 7 players at AFCON as well. Fucking hell. And they're holding Man City.
No, how much is left of that game, though? What, you still got another half? It's another half, I would have thought.
Did we get any money for the limp German sausage? I think he's going on. I think they're paying his wages for half a season, and then they'll send him back appalled at how useless he is, and he'll turn up in the first team squad next summer.
I think it's shocking. I think it's shocking that we didn't even get a loan fee for him. Honestly, I really do. Like, just to get something for him, it's just pathetic.
This is what I wondered, is the Leeds geezer who sat on a bucket, whose name I forgot as well, Peter. He killed that team, didn't he, physically? He literally run them into the ground. And I'm wondering whether Nuno, because he does demand, it's like a Forest fan I know, who was season ticket holder the other night, said that what he wants of his wingers is to get up down the pitch 3 times in a minute.
He was a bit different. I say when he ran him into the ground, I forget his name now. I know you're talking about, but he was proper gung ho, wasn't he? Like, I think the Leeds fan were loving that, seeing all that attacking football. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was hit and miss because, like I say, they was almost like trying to outscore the opponent all the time. I'd subscribe to that type of football over this crap that we're watching. I would be a bit more exciting.
Though. Look at this, Füllkrug. We paid, I think, 16 or 17 for him. Inside of half a season, no, it's not. It's 1.5 seasons, isn't it? 5 million. Loan with an option to buy for 5 million. How bad is that?
Well, he must be, 30? He'd be 32 or 33 by the point that he finishes his loan with Milan, though, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense from an age point of view, but again, it's just crap business, isn't it? It's just really, really poor business.
So if he tears it up and he sets, and not that he will, Serie A out on fire, because it's more his pace, let's be honest, right? They've got to pay 5 million. Fucking brilliant. We're crap at deals. Marco Bielsa, of course. There he was.
No, Marcelo
Bielsa. Pablo comes on and scores a winner on Saturday, yeah.
That would be amazing. That would be the ideal scenario because it just, it will give everyone a lift, wouldn't it? Seeing the new young striker come in and score his first goal as a sub. Because I think if he signs by 12, it's 12 o'clock tomorrow he needs to sign by, isn't it, to be eligible to play on Saturday.
We didn't pay 28 million for Füllkrug, Mandy. That was just the rumoured amount because we always call it the total deal value, sometimes including wages as well. We paid about 16, 15, 17 million, something like that for Füllkrug as the fee. I mean, he hasn't there's none of the add-ons that he's going to have triggered, right? He's literally done nothing. Played like a fiddle. Well, the thing that really offends me about him is when he got all mouthy, which was clearly just him trying to blatantly undermine the manager in Potter, who needed undermining, but that's not the point. He made himself out to be the big bastard, and he became a bit of a cult hero for a while for being outspoken. But it turns out he's a lazy fucker as well. So what was he moaning about?
When you come out with something like that, you've got to back it up, haven't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Right. Imagine this. We beat another fantasy. Hang on. We beat Wolves, Forest, Arsenal. Boost the lads' morale. We go on a non-losing streak and get into Europe just barely. That is an extreme case of delusion.
You know what? Just to make this quite funny, Gal. Just before we end this, right? People in the chat. If you want to put in your fantasies into the chat, football related, obviously. Nothing sexual. Nothing sexual. Yeah, nothing sexual.
Choice. What would happen from now until the end of the season? Best case scenario. Don't say win the league. That ain't going to happen. It's got to be something that, if all the chips fall in our favour, could happen. I mean, we could beat Forest. We could beat Wolves. We could beat Arsenal. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But, go on, give it a go.
You can beat anyone.
You
can beat anyone in that league.
What's your fantasy, Danny?
What's your fantasy, Danny? Football obviously.
Fantasy.
Not sexual.
Survival and have a decent FA Cup run will be good.
Yeah, but that's not a fantasy, is it? That's just
no, it's not.
What should happen?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. What are we going to say? Tottenham 5-0.
10th is maybe.
Beat them 5-0.
Yeah. West Ham is where good players come to die. That's Tottenham, isn't it? I mean, it's us as well, but it's Tottenham as well. Yeah. More depressing note, Musaka broke through and got time for Man City. Mikasa. Yeah. Not Musaka. Mikasa. Sorry. Table finished. FA Cup win. So this is my fantasy. Bye-bye, Sullivan. 2006 is your year to get the fuck out of here. Shame the red card at the next game. Oh, that was interesting. That what happened with the independent West Ham, the IWA, the ones that do the singing. They've got a makeshift drum. It's like a bin, and they hit it with a mallet, and they're not really attached to the protest officially in any way, but obviously under instruction, overzealous stewards at the last game took their mallet off them, didn't they? And what was that geezer doing, Chris? He was trying to trigger people, wasn't he, that steward?
Well, were you with me when we went through security the other day, Dan? You were, weren't you? I can't remember. Were you with us or
no.
You were? No, you weren't. Yeah, they were being a bit touchy-feely, a bit more than usual. Like, I don't know if you experienced that, or I don't know if the geezer fancied me, but he was like kind of going, like touching me up a little bit, you know, like in my pockets. Nowhere weird, but he'd like going through my pockets and stuff, like literally kind of squeezing all my pockets, and I was like, this is a little bit much. Like, do you know what I mean? Some of them just go, you know, just quick scan and you're through. But this guy was like really over the top. And there's another guy, and I think it's at the main entrance. And this happened to me the previous games. That would have been the Fulham game. And he was taking his job way too seriously. Do you know what I mean? Like way too seriously. He's like, no, you come back here now and do. It's like, chill out, mate. Like, what's going on?
These people, honestly, it's pathetic, isn't it? It's like the a power trip. Once they put the high vis on in it, it's like, see how powerful I am. I'm official. Look at me. I'm part of security.
It does feel a bit like that sometimes. You're just like, seriously, mate, get over yourself. Do you know, I'm just going to a football game. What are you doing this for? What are you checking me out like this for? It's ridiculous. It is. It really winds me up sometimes. It does. Like, there's another one, right? Another one that I don't quite understand. Yeah. So my son, right? So he's 17, and when he was a year younger, so he's nearly 18. But when he was sort of 16, they would say, "Oh no, baby." When he was 15, we had season ticket. It'd be like, "Oh, how old's your son?" So I had to tell him how old he is before they're allowed to check him. So I would say, "Oh, no, don't check it." And I remember the one time I turned around and said, "No, he's too young, get him through." And he goes, "I know, I need your permission." I said, "Well, I'm not giving you my permission," or something like that. I was having a bit of a row, and I thought, well, why even ask me if you're still going to check him anyway? I don't really. Do I need to observe and watch you check my son, or I don't really understand it? Like, it's so weird. It's just again, I don't. You must get that with Kieran as well, though, Dan, right?
Yeah, both with your kids when they go through. Yeah.
So what do they say to you? They ask you, right? They say, "Can I check the kids?"
No, I just say don't check them, and I just tell the kids to walk through and ignore him.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. And it's not like women, and they get they've got the wand, haven't they? But no, they're not checking the kids.
Exactly. You could literally say, for all I know, you could be like the next Jimmy Savile. So no, my kid's walking through. I'm not having that. You know, why would you want some steward like going through their kids' pockets? No, it's unacceptable.
These people, they don't work for the club. They're bought in on a daily rate. Just they could be anywhere next week. You know, might not even be stewarding. They might be down the local supermarket, right? And they seem to be carrying out the instructions of the board. In other words, because the reason they took that mallet away, it's not the fact it was a mallet, it's the fact that they linked them to the protest. So they've obviously been given instruction that anything that's to do with a protest in any way to clamp down on it. They were searching for red cards. They were doing all sorts. The red card for a thing, it may not appear to be the most heavyweight of protests, but there was an article in The Athletic. It had a close-up picture of people holding red cards up. Very, very impactful, and that is why we do these things.
Yeah. Right. Going back to that mallet thing, though, I mean, in fact, again, playing devil's advocate, trying to be a little bit objective here, but if you see someone walking through, security with a mallet in their hand.
No, it was a rubber mallet, apparently. It wasn't something you can hurt someone with.
All right, okay. All right, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think you get away with taking a hammer in there either, Chris. I think that'd be frowned on, wouldn't it, by the security?
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah. Red card. Don't forget red card. You're going to Wolves. Red card protest on 15 minutes every single game from now on. Take the best photos you can as well. We want nice, good close-ups that we can send on social media. Honestly, what clearer note can you give them? Every little thing like this, from the reaction of the stewards at the next game, that it is winding them up. But I don't know, because the mayor's office pays for all of the stewarding at that ground. The mayor does not speak to Brady or Sullivan. They can't stand each other. So how have the club got the right to instruct those stewards to do kind of reputational protection for the owners when they're being paid by the mayor?
Yeah, I don't know. Pass. No idea, mate. No idea. But it does seem like they're being very, very, a little bit OTT with the checks at the moment. I must admit, it's taking longer to get through. But it has been for certain games anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't stand Timmy Mallet. What a fucking arsehole he was.
you reckon if Timmy Mallet walked through, they'd take his mallet off him, man?
Fucking would as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. 16.
It's funny you said it, though, Chris.
What's that?
Because there was on the weekend, there was one of the blokes that was letting us through. He let about 10 blokes go through without even checking them because he knew that it was so close to kickoff time. He was like, oh, come on, usher through. And then he stopped, and then he searched a few. Then he let a few more go. It just makes you wonder, like some are really taking it seriously, which I get. You have to take it seriously, don't you? But like kids and stuff, it's just a bit much.
Well, there's, to your point, mate, I mean, there's taking it serious and then there's taking it serious. I mean, this is like, I mean, sometimes it's just utterly ridiculous. And, I put some post up the other day and someone says, oh, just turn up to the game early or get there early. It's like, no, I got there in more than enough time to get there for kickoff. But, unfortunately, I have to wait. Like, I think it might have been the Fulham game. I waited about, I don't know, it must have been about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get through the security checks. Yeah. And then about another 15 minutes of getting through, into the turnstiles. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. That's just, there's no other ground in the country that it takes that long to get inside a stadium. None. No. And then you don't even factor in the fact that, once you get through the turnstiles, particularly where I sit or stand, literally walking past that shitty beer garden and trying to get to my seat, that's another 5 minutes gone. It's ridiculous. The only upside of me going to London Stadium is I hit my 10,000 steps a day. That's about it. Honestly, that literally is. But the only time I managed to hit 10,000. Ridiculous.
There's only one R in Gary Ekim 3380. Sorry. Right. Will Nuno be trusted to bring us back up? I don't even want to go that far. He's got to be fired if he gets us relegated. That's for sure.
What's this, Gal? They got photos of Chris and Gary. What's that about?
Oh, the security.
Oh, okay. All right.
They didn't give me any grief, actually, so they can't have a photo of me.
I thought it was something weird there for a minute, Gal. So there's no such thing as photos of Chris and Gary. I don't know what that's all about.
Really bad. It's like a dictatorship inside that ground. It's like the security get them to do, go out, get them, take all the red cards off them, do this. We can't have that. We can't have that. As if it matters.
No.
Well, it does matter to them, but that's the good thing. That's the good thing. Because it matters to them, let's do it more. The balloons, they hated the balloons. They tried to get balloons banned by the league as offensive, as dangerous objects. You couldn't throw balloons. They were dangerous objects.
It really does wind me up when I see those bloody stewards popping those balloons. Like you said last time you were on, Danny, they do it with real passion, didn't they? Like, bang, have some of that. Bang, have some of that. It's like, seriously, get over it. Do you know what I mean? Unbelievable.
Fulham's favouring, Sterling's favouring Fulham over us. Really? That's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, leave it there. We're an hour and a half. That's a long show. Covered a lot, though, and we brought everyone up to date on the very first day of the year. Happy New Year again to everybody. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Danny. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Thank you, Claire. Happy New Year to you, Claire, and everyone in the chat. We'll be doing the transfer shows coming up quite a lot. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please could you subscribe to the Bobby Moore Stand here on YouTube. Give the video a like. Hit the bell notification icon and give it a hype if you've got any left. And that's us done. Until next time. See you soon. And come on, you irons.